Let's talk about people pleasing because in this video, I'm going to share with you why I believe I was a people pleaser, why I struggle with it, and what I did to overcome it to no longer be what I used to be. Now, do I believe there's going to be a part of me that's still going to have some people pleasing there? Absolutely. I'm a human being, right? But I will say that if you are a people pleaser and you're watching this, my hope for you is that in 2025, we put that to rest. We put that to bed. No longer are we going to be people pleasing. No longer are we going to be putting everybody's needs, desires, wants over our own. We are going to be putting ourselves first. We are going to be making ourselves whole so we can be of service to our purpose, our mission, and to the world. Now, I believe I was a people pleaser because I grew up the youngest of 6 boys. Okay? No women, no girls, no nothing. Just straight up testosterone in this house. Now, here's why I believe this was important. Not only am I the youngest of 6 boys, they are also significantly older than I am. So the brother that was closest to my age was 5 years older than me. Then it goes 7, 9, 10, and 15 years. Okay? So my oldest brother is 15 years older than me. My youngest brother was 5 years older than me, who's no longer with us. Rest in peace, Ian. But I believe a lot of that was because I was always fighting for attention. And growing up, in my mind, I was kind of always way more self-aware than I believe I should have been at that age. But I believe growing up that there wasn't really anything special about me because my parents have seen this all before. They've seen their kids go to high school. They've seen them go to college and graduate and drive and have kids and get married all before I was in high school. And so I grew up with this desire to know what my value was and know my importance. So I believe that I had to be the loudest. I had to be, the class clown. I had to be the best athlete. I had to get the full ride. I had to play pro. I put the bar so high for myself because I felt that if I just did like everyone else did, I was just going to be just amongst the crew and there was nothing that was going to stand out about me. So being a people pleaser, I grew up with this insatiable desire for people to like me. I needed validation. And if you're watching this and you're a people pleaser, there's a good chance that your biggest issue is you need validation in some kind of a way. So you are going to overextend yourself, you are going to overcommit yourself, and you are going to overwhelm yourself because deep down, what's missing is validation. You need people to validate that you are enough. And so the biggest breakthrough that I had over time was no matter what friendships I had, what relationships I had, what job or career or industry I was in, it all came down to a point where I was seeking validation. I was seeking praise. I was seeking to feel like I was enough, but the only person that can give me that security, that safety, that comfort, number one is God, but number two is me. I had to believe I was worthy enough. I had to believe I was good enough. I had to believe that I was special. Because if you're relying on people to do that for you, you are always going to find yourself in relationships that aren't for you. You are always going to find yourself in a career or a job that's not for you. And you are always going to find yourself in situations and circumstances that's not ideal for you because you're seeking attention, you're seeking love, you're seeking validation. You're going to be doing a lot of trends. You're going to be following the crowds. You're going to be liking things that you really don't like, but you say that you like it so other people can like you, right? You're going to be doing things so the crowd can like you. You are going to be finding yourself amongst people instead of being by yourself. And I believe that you are called to be the crowd, not be amongst the crowd. You are called to be a leader of people, not a follower of people. But as long as you stay a people pleaser, you are always going to be following and you are never going to be leading, right? So it took me, I'm 37 years old now. It took me to like really, if I'm being honest, like my early to mid 30s to really figure out like, yo, I got a problem. There's an issue here. There is a problem with needing validation, whether it was in relationships, social media, friends, whatever. I needed to feel like I'm here. But it got to the point where it was like I had to be honest with myself. I take myself with me everywhere that I go, and yet I always find myself in the same situation, just with different faces. So clearly I'm the problem. Clearly I'm the issue. But how do we get over this? How do we fix this? Well, I had to do some deep work. Maybe you have to do that too, in counseling or therapy, whatever that may be. And I had to get to the root of why I am the way that I am. Why do I believe this? Why am I seeking validation? And that's where I got to the beginning of this video of talking about my childhood. I felt like I always had to fight for survival in terms of attention. I felt like I always had to do the most to get people to notice me and to like me. And so that compounds over years, from 5 years old to 30 something years old, of the same behavior. You're just grown. And the longer that you have these roots, it's harder to pull them out. So that's why I'm making this video, because if you're watching this still right now, you probably know without a shadow of a doubt you're a people pleaser. But you also are probably in a place where you're sick and tired of being a people pleaser. You're like, I'm done with this shit. Like, let's do this now. Let's break the chain now. Man, I'm telling you, the way you break the chain is not getting into another relationship. It's not getting into another job or career. It's you finding within yourself the worthiness within you. You have to see yourself the way God sees you. Until you do that, you are always going to be a people pleaser. You have to find your value through Him and not through men and women. The first step in overcoming being a people pleaser is seeing yourself the way God sees you, above and not below, the head and not the tail. You are so uniquely and wonderfully made. There is never going to be anyone like you in the past, present, or future. And if you truly believe and understand that, then there is never a reason for you to want to be liked by anybody, right? Because you know that you are the one, and the right people are going to be for you. And when you also understand that, people crucified Jesus, what you think people are going to do to you? People are not going to like you. You are not going to win everyone. I don't care how amazing your business is, your podcast, your book, or you're still going to have haters, right? And someone once told me, if you don't have any haters, you're not doing life right. Jesus had haters. They crucified him. So if he got crucified and he was trying to save everybody, what do you think your trifling self and my janky self is going to have? We're going to have haters, and people are going to crucify us too. So it doesn't make sense for us to spend our time wanting to be liked, because even when we exhaust all that energy to do so, people are still not going to like us. So if that's the case, you might as well just spend all your time being yourself and learning the value and the worthiness of you than trying to get approved by men and women. The second thing I will say is this. You have to start surrounding yourself with people that are going to tell you what you need to hear and not just tell you what you want to hear. Until I started really asking for counsel and having people in my life that were living the life or doing what I wanted to do, they were at a level higher than me, right? So they can speak to me not from where they are, but also where they've been. One of the common things was, dude, you need to have people in your circle that are going to call you out on your bullshit. You got to have people in your life going to tell you, like, yo, like, you're tripping. Yo, like, you got to stop. Yo, like, the more that you lean on community, the people that can see that you are looking for validation, that you're asking questions, not because you want the answer, but you want people to make you feel good about your indecision. You need to have people in your life that are going to speak to your destiny and not just keep you in your present and your past. Having people in your corner that aren't going to allow you to settle into who you used to be is imperative for growth. Most people don't want change, right? I'll take that back. People want change, but they don't want to change, right? So in order for you to change, you have to change who you're around. Now, that doesn't mean you got to cut everyone off, but it does mean you got to understand in this season of your life, what kind of person do you need to be in communication with the most? Do you need to be with people that's reminding you of who you used to be and treating you how you used to be wanted to be treated? Or do you want to spend your time with people who are going to give you the harsh reality and honesty, but also not allow you to settle into your old skin? You have to be willing to have the hard conversations with people that want what's best for you, not people that just want you to settle in who you've always been. And the last thing is this. It's a process. You have to give yourself time. It's not going to be fixed overnight. Now, I know I said this video in under 10 minutes. of all the things that I did, but it took time, right? You have habits, belief systems, mindset shifts that you have to have that's going to take over time. Now, you can start the process right now, but you're not going to be healed and cured today. It's a process. So understand that this is going to be something that's going to take hours, days, weeks, months, and maybe even years for you to get over, but you can start right now. But the main reason why you have to understand that this is a process is because the most important thing that I had to learn, and I want to give it to you, is you have to give yourself grace. You have to allow yourself to be okay with making the decisions in the past that kept you where you've always been. Give yourself grace for your mistakes. Give yourself grace for your people-pleasing ways. Because if you're beating yourself over the head and being upset and living in guilt and shame, you're just going to go back to who you used to be. And to be honest, that's where the enemy wants you to be. He wants you to stay over there. He knows you're wanting to make changes. He knows you're inquiring about being different. So he's going to remind you of all those things you did and all those times you wanted to do something, but you start and you stopped. All the rejection, all the reasons why you need validation. He's going to bring that up in the forefront so you stay right where you used to be. No. Whenever you are deciding to change, your past is always going to come to the forefront. So when you know all these three things, when you do these three things, and you practice it each and every day, I promise you, you're going to go from the CEO of People Pleasing University to burning that school to the ground. I promise you, it is better on this side. But it starts with you making a decision. It starts with you seeing yourself how God sees you. It starts with you surrounding yourself with people that speak life into your new skin. And it starts with you understanding that it's going to take time and you have to give yourself grace. I hope this video blessed you. Hope it served you. Please hit the subscribe button for more videos just like this. I love you so much. Be safe, be blessed, and I'll see you soon. Peace.